these documents and it sits on a shelf, basically. That is not the plan for this document here. Our plan is to evaluate this document annually, grade ourselves on the performance. I will be providing an annual report to the Board of Supervisors as far as what goals and objectives we've accomplished, where we fell short, what we can do better, and if there's any goals that need to be revised. So it's my hope that this is a living document and not just a document that sits on the shelf. Now, why I think it's important that we develop this document is because I know many of you have heard that we're the second fastest growing county in the state. We have the second highest growth rate in the state. We're still a small locality, but we are seeing growth that we have never seen before. Last year, we broke a record as far as the issuance of building permits with just over 400. When I say year, we track this by fiscal year, so July 1 to June 30th. And right now, we are tracking to exceed what we did last year as far as building permits. So we're growing fast. We're seeing a lot of economic development opportunities and projects. We're planning to have some very interesting and big announcements over the next several months. So it is important that we develop a plan now, and so we get it right as we developed. I worked in the community, I've worked in the city, started my career off as a planner in an urban area, mainly focusing on redevelopment. And I can tell you it's very expensive and very time consuming to fix it after not good sound planning went into development. So we want to get it right the first time. This is just the first step of our planning effort. Our next step is our comprehensive plan. Now, our strategic plan actually deals with comprehensiveness, a variety of services, development. It deals with a array of issues. And now we're going to dial it down to land use development with the update of our comprehensive plan, which we are developing that process now. We're starting that process now. Stay tuned. There'll be more community surveys, more community meetings, and opportunities for you, the public, to provide input on how you want to see New Kent County grow over the short and long term. And our third and final step as far as our planning efforts is we're going to look at all of our ordinances to make sure we have the teeth in our ordinance to enforce our comprehensive plan and our strategic plan. So this really is a three-part process. Another item that I want to update you on, which is probably one of our biggest items right now that we're working on in the county, is broadband. We are working with the group, River Street Networks, and we've been working with them for about a year now, and things have been progressing nicely. We have developed a design, a plan to provide fiber optic service to every home, every business in the county. It's a big plan. It's a big project. The price tag on this is just under $50 million, with New Kent's commitment being just under $25 million. The good thing is we currently have in our reserve account $12 million of that $25 million commitment. And on Monday night at the next Board of Supervisors meeting, I'm going to be asking the board to appropriate our ARPA funds in the amount of $4.2 million to the broadband effort also. So we'll have a little over $16 million towards that $25 million. And I'm confident that we have a plan to come up with the remainder of what's needed without impacting our tax rate or personal property tax rate. It's our goal that this project does not burden our tax rate, and we're going to raise $25 million without impacting our tax rate. We have applied for a VATI grant right now, and the VATI is the Virginia Telecommunications Initiative grant. That's the state fund to really distribute broadband resources to localities. Our application is it's about a $9 million ask. With that application, we would implement our first phase of our broadband project by connecting 1,272 homes to fiber optic service. Um, the ask from the state is, I believe, about $4.7 million, about 2.4 coming from the county, the remainder coming from River Street Network, our broadband partner. So. Also want to talk about Pine Fork Park. We've opened Pine Fork Park, and it is a very nice and excellent facility, and it's just the first phase of Pine Fork Park. So if you haven't had a chance to visit that facility, please do. It is packed on the weekends. It's packed on the evenings. We're excited about the amount of traffic that it's getting. A very nice facility located right off of exit 211. Also, in regards to Parks and Recreation, we are in the process of putting out requests for bids for the establishment of a kayak launch at the Cumberland Preserve. You know, I've always thought, and it is in this document as a goal, to increase public access on our waterways. But I've always thought that it's a shame, New Kent County surrounded by 3 rivers, and we have no public water access. So we are definitely trying to change that. Also want to mention, as far as education, we have recently received a $300,000 Go Virginia grant in partnership with Rappahannock Community College. We're going to use this grant to establish a welding program for RCC students, but this program will also be provided to our Bridging Community students too, a high school student, and RCC is working with Bridging Communities now to work out the details of that. While welding, we reached out to the business community and we asked the businesses, what do you need? One of our largest employers in the county, Curtis Contracting, welding was the first thing that he mentioned. So as well as other businesses in the county too. So we are excited to be able to serve that need. Post office. New Kent County has completed the build of a new post office to replace the New Kent post office down by a courthouse area. It is a beautiful facility. If you're ever in the area, it's right beside the existing post office. So take a look. What the county did is we provided a shell structure. So, and we turned that over to the post office, and they're finishing the inside of that facility right now. I don't anticipate them opening that facility until early next year. One of the things the post office communicated to us is they are entering into their busiest time of the year, the holiday seasons, and they do not move during this time of the year. So we look forward to the beginning of the year, the opening of that new facility. A couple more things. Trash pickup. That has been a big issue in New Kent County, not just New Kent, but many localities in the state of Virginia regarding the amount of litter on side of the roads. And that's a call that I get consistently. The Board of Supervisors has